that house music is freedom. Freedom to be who you want to be.
I was kind of expecting it to be in the mainstream hip-hop what it is, which is one side techno, one side drum and bass.
Yeah, the thing about Hull is like, didn't have much of an expectation of the scene, but when we got here it was pretty good to be honest. Like,
whenever I came here I didn't know a lot about here. I didn't know a lot about what was kind of going on. I didn't really research it as well.
But obviously I knew Hull quite well because I had family here, so I knew that it wasn't going to be as big as other places. It wasn't going to have like a warehouse project or canal mills or fabric.
I thought it was really strange that like one of the like only real nights that was kind of showcasing underground dance music was like a student society at the uni. There wasn't really much else on apart from like Shinobi.
Because in other cities, like yeah, musically they're not very explorational, but like your average club night is a lot more fun than they are here. So that was a bit of a notch down to earth kind of thing.
I feel this call to the core. How could I not speak?
It's given us a lot, you know, we've had a lot of opportunities and we've met a lot of nice people when we've been it. Just like
good memories as well.
yeah, I mean the Delphi Club is a great example of a venue that has been so supportive, and the guy who ran it has always been really helpful with everything we've done there. It's even through the university, like meeting a lot of people, especially for like Crystal Clear as well. Like meeting people through that, it's like it opens a big door to electronic music and people that are interested in DJs and other people, especially on your course as well.
Yeah.
You know, people that just sort of
Loads of people just like
like-minded people that are interested in that sort of music. And
I've kind of accepted it. It's pretty much like a widespread thing, right? Like these are the biggest genres worldwide in terms of dance music. And I think sometimes it can actually be quite beneficial. Like from a selfish point of view, it keeps our genres more underground, right? It means there's going to be less gentrification of what we like doing, which is sick. But also like they are gateway genres. So like people will go to house and techno nights. They then might go to drum and bass nights and think, I like the darkness of this, but I like the beat structure of that. And then you've got garage, bassline, dub techno, these kind of things, and people can find them. So I think they're good starter points for people.
There wasn't really much else on apart from like Shinobi and maybe a couple of little things, but compared to now I wouldn't say there was that much going on, especially compared to like Manchester and Leeds and stuff, and even coming from Belfast as well. Belfast did have a lot going on, and there's like always been quite a prominent electronic scene there. But yeah, I don't know, but I think Hull's changed a lot in the past like couple of years.
Realistically, there's only so much we can do, and when I say we, I'm talking about like Crystal Clear DJ Society, lockdown, stuff like that. Because obviously we're all doing this basically as a hobby. We don't have the time, energy, or the financial capability to keep pushing it, like putting weekly things on, keeping momentum going, keeping the attention on it. So like obviously in an ideal world, I wish we could do it 24/7 to really try, keep putting an alternative forward. But I don't think we're being unsuccessful. I think we're doing the best we can.
I've always thought that it was metal and drum and bass was like the biggest things in Hull. But it's not. It's rock music in general, but it's nice to see different things coming out, because we've always been more into sort of like ambient electronic music and more experimental side of it, which doesn't get much of a showing.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's nice to sort of find people that have similar sort of tastes and that sort of stuff and more open to it.
Hull is such a small place as well, so you shouldn't necessarily have to do like a lot of promo, because you know, like it's quite a close-knit community and like a lot of people kind of know each other. So you would imagine that like even just like spreading stuff by word of mouth would kind of get things to places. But at the same time, like whenever I was in my first year, like with Fractal and like other events, like Marshall Jefferson and stuff, and O'Reilly's, and like we didn't realise until like about 6 weeks after when we just by chance seen like a poster. So it's kind of weird in the sense that like, I don't know, the promo thing, I think it could be done a lot better, but I don't know, I still think that like Hull's kind of still a bit behind in relation to other cities.
It's given us nothing but like opportunities and nothing but like great things. And met so many great
So
people.
easy to put a night on it. Like it's cheap and it's people go there because
That's
there's not really that much going on like all the time. So if you put a night on, then there's not 70 other nights at the same time.
I would say the mainstream like nightlife does kind of have more of a presence. Like I mean, you look at like, you know, Wally Thursdays and Saturdays. Maybe not as much necessarily now, but like in my first year, second year, third year, they would have been queued out down the street. Attic and stuff would be pulling like loads of people in. And it's just weird because like you would have that maybe at other events in like Leeds and Manchester where it was an underground thing, where they'll put the event on 2 months beforehand and it sells out. Whereas here, people don't buy stuff for, like they don't buy tickets for events until about 2 days before. And it's like even with the Crystal Clear sales and stuff, like, you know, I've been fretting like mad coming up to 2 days before the event, and then all of a sudden you got like people buying like 20, 30, 40 tickets in like the last 24 hours and you're like, okay, this is alright.
The student crowd that are involved in the DJ culture scene. Each year you're going to get a new, some people are going to leave uni, some people are going to go home, some people are going to come in and take over the controls. These people are obviously going to have different tastes in music.
Students offer such a massive part of electronic and music in general, but it's not even just electronic music.
Yeah, well they can drive like a scene, can't they? Like, they're a massive source of revenue.
I think a lot of it comes from the fact that ultimately students are free most of the time unless it's like exam season or whatever. That's from my experience being a student.
Well, yeah, same.
And you know, you can put an event on a Tuesday or a Monday, and if it was at the right time of year, you could get a decent crowd together. And usually those points in the week are when smaller artists find it more easy to one bucket because it's cheaper, or you know, the availability's there. You know, and that's sort of a really good thing, is that you know you're going to get a good crowd together even if you put it on a midweek. I think that's a really important thing that you get from students, and the energy of youth at the same time as well, which is really part of it.
The first year when I was exploring DJ culture, the events I was going to were very much based music oriented, whereas this year there's been less of that. There's been a definite gap, and it's genuinely just made me miss it. So it was really just a case of, we've done these events before in other cities, they've worked. I'm lucky enough to have a pull amongst students in terms of like playing house parties, everyone kind of knows my name around that kind of thing. So I thought it was really important to show that just because there isn't really much of like a grind dubstep bass scene as much as there used to be, it doesn't mean it's gone away kind of thing. Which is important to try and incentivize people that are coming that maybe one day in a couple of years will want to be doing these things, because they might be put off by the fact that there hasn't been that much kind of stuff this year and be like, well, it's not going to work. So hopefully I'll show people that it can work.
It's strange how the mainstream kind of club scene just dominates things, because there's still not that many places to go in Hull, and I think like it's no secret that there's a lack of venues, and the venues that are there are kind of crippled by certain things. Like the Adelphi's class, I would say that the Adelphi is one of the best venues in Hull, but like it shuts at 12. You have the likes of Tunnel, but Tunnel doesn't have a sound system and it's more of a space. But I think that's because of this as well. It's nearly kind of pushing people that are having to kind of think around this mainstream thing and putting on different events. Like they kind of go into other spaces, such as like down Humber Street, where there's those temporary spaces.
But the thing is as well, I find like when you've not got a scene, then you have to go out to like look for it. So places that don't have like that like forced down their throat or whatever, or have it all around them, they're kind of like they have to look for it themselves. So you tend to get a lot of like people from small towns and just finding shitloads of styles, which is where we're from. We're from like tiny towns, don't we?
Yeah, and that sort of mixing
Forces you to like look for shit.
That mixing pot is a good thing as well for all music. When you start mixing people from different backgrounds, different cultures, together from different genres of music, you get something new, you get something that's special, that's different. And I think that's another important thing about it as well.
I think we need to stick to our roots a bit more personally. I'll explain. So obviously the thing that we do brilliantly is so like crystal clear digitized predominantly, but also things like Get Down, Residence Association, all these kind of things. The things that make these things appealing and unique in the city is that they push genres that are otherwise shut out. But it's very easy to try and maintain popularity or pull or try and increase profits on your events to kind of play to the crowd. And obviously I get it, it's playing it safe, whereas I feel like the reason that things like Crystal Clear events have gathered so much prominence is because we always try to showcase things that people haven't heard before. It's very easy to try to say, I'm going to play these kind of tunes and make it a little bit more accessible. But I think that's quite a slippery slope. Because it's going to make it a lot harder then to try and do anything different, because people are going to be used to even you guys doing the same thing.
At the end of the day, people can come here and they can see that there's not necessarily a lot going on, but I think people coming in, and the more like genres and the more people there are coming in, is only going to help grow the scene, even if it's just people like turning up to like nights or whatever, not necessarily starting things, but we're just like DJing at nights. It's just everybody provides a bit of a different perspective, and if people are coming from these bigger places which are running bigger nights, or different countries or whatever, they're going to be bringing different things with them.
I think the small, like, Hull's a relatively small city as well, and I think the closeness, there's much more of a community like to it.
Yeah, you pretty much know everyone, don't you?
And that's a nice thing. It's like you go to, if you're really keen and interested in electronic music, you go to enough events that are of your interest. You'll meet people, like-minded people in the area very quickly, and get to know people that are doing similar things. In bigger cities, to find people that you want to be spending time with and the people that are interested in sort of saying things as you, it's going to take you a lot longer and it's a lot harder to sort of find that way because there's just so much going on all over the place. And I think that's the nice thing about it is you start seeing people very frequently. It's like, oh, how you doing, mate? Nice to meet you. You get talking, then if you're into music, you start working with them, DJ with them and stuff like that.
And I think the student influx here has kind of changed like the greater scene, because like I mean like in my first year, even 2 years ago, you wouldn't have got like a house night upstairs in Welly. Excuse me. But you wouldn't, like 2 years ago, you wouldn't have got like a house night upstairs in Welly. But just from the kind of student influence of like, you know, Crystal Clear going into Welly, it kind of felt like that's pushed the door open more for stuff like that to come in and actually end up upstairs. So I think like with the kind of student underground thing, it's definitely healthy for Hull. I think it should definitely be nurtured. And I think there's a few gaps, but I think like it's still good.
For me, I think the most important thing is for people that aren't involved in what we're doing that come to the event. I feel like sometimes there's a tendency for people to take these kind of things for granted because they're not, like, they're incredibly enjoyable, successful nights, but they're not big. Like, they're not some kind of novelty thing. People tend to assume that they're always going to happen. So as people in the crowd, they don't probably notice how important it is to try and keep getting people to come and keep exposing new people to this. I feel like people in the crowd, if they really like what we're doing, should kind of take it upon themselves to inform other people and spread the word for us. Like, we can't do everything. I think that's really helpful, especially people that have got a big presence on campus at the uni, or have got ties with the city, with the locals, something like that. I think that's definitely something that we've worked on.
I'd say for an example in Manchester, there's a lot of underground, like even just like pubs, like basement rooms that have got some insane speaker setup with a DJ booth because people are slamming nights on there left, right and centre, and I think when you get the opportunities like that in a space like that, I think that paves the way for people to start doing their nights because it becomes easier. It's a lot harder to do it now. You even need, we've only sort of done live nights, but from my outside perspective on DJ nights, it's like you can book out Welly and pay a lot of money to book talent from elsewhere, but that's going to cost you money, and if you don't have that money in the first place, you can't do it. And you also, you've got to be able to, it's a risk that you might not get enough people there to come. So these basement spaces offer an opportunity for people who are just local, that want to put a night on of a certain genre and just bring people in to play, and it's relatively cheap. And I think, you got the Adelphi's probably one that works, but Adelphi again is never really lent massively towards electronic music.
I mean, I think it'd be good if there was like more spaces, like for that
smaller spaces,
yeah.
That are like
that, but a lot of
because tunnels sort of work. All tunnels really missing as far as I'm concerned. I've not actually been there. This is just it's just missing like some speakers.
For me, the most important venue for the vibe that I like to try and create for an event is probably the Adelphi Club. Purely because I mean, it's steeped in history, firstly. Like, why wouldn't you want to play somewhere where the type of acts that are toured there, like, it's crazy. And that really is an incentive for people that are wanting to learn as a DJ. But also, I think it's probably one of the best spaces for bringing the student crowd and the local crowd together. Because in a lot of cities I've been to, visiting friends or playing at events, it really does feel like some kind of tale of two cities, with the students there going to these events and the locals here going to these events, and they don't want to marry together. This is something that things like the Resurgence Association people used to do, right? Because you've got everyone from the age of 18 to 68 all dancing to the same music that some of them never have heard of. And it feels right, which is really beautiful. So yeah, I feel like that, the fact that venue is still up and running is pretty pivotal for me.
With the opportunities that Crystal Clear kind of presents, like I mean, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to play out before like Ross and Friends, Hammer, and Big Men's and stuff. So I would say like I have learned a lot like dance music wise from DJing, but like also just like from seeing other artists and stuff. Like I mean, like Kodak's second place to me, we're all in the same course, but I think those guys are class. Like, and I can entirely see them doing really well. They're going places.
But it's just like, you know, that's what it's like. You hear about people, you hear about them, you respect what they do, and it's like everyone's very keen to work together.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I learned. Is it when you're first starting out, it's easy to be afraid and think, oh, that person might want to work with me, that person might want to do that with me. But I've learned since being at uni, it sort of taught me that you'd be surprised how often people will be so happy to do stuff with you and so enthused. It's easy to think, well, I'm not good enough, they're not going to care about doing stuff with us, or they don't want to do this because they're not on, second or headline or whatever. But really, no one really cares. Everyone's just,
no one cares.
If
Everyone just wants to play.
if everyone has the right mindset to music, they'll just be happy to do anything.
I kind of, for the first year of uni, I didn't have a clue what these kind of events were going on. Like I was looking for them, but I didn't know where to look, kind of thing. A year down the line, I'm on 90% of the posters in kebab shops. I'm playing at Shinobi, we're running these events, I'm helping on bookings, like I'm talking to the artists, getting them checked in, like these kind of things. So I feel like it's spiraled very quickly. I haven't really had a time to kind of contemplate on it. But no, I feel like I can leave Hull after my time at uni knowing that my role in the whole nightlife scene, on a student perspective at least, was pretty pivotal, which I think is crazy because like I'm just studying it. Like I'm here for 3 years. Like I don't live here. I have no reason to want to make this a kind of money-making scheme. So I think it's crazy that in such a short space of time, and this is the beautiful thing about Hull and how DIY it is that I can be here I can learn how to DJ for 2 years and put on some of the best nights of the year for the entire system. I think that's crazy. And I think that's probably the biggest incentive for people coming